Welcome to NYIT Roundtable. I'm Carol Pack. Looking for work can strike fear in the hearts of the hardiest job seekers, and that's especially true during tough economic times. That anxiety can be magnified for inexperienced job applicants like recent high school and college graduates. So today we're going to get some inside tips from experts in human resources. I'm joined right now by Barbara Cohen-Farber of Lloyd Staffing and Deborah Randolph-Price of DRP Enterprises. Welcome to NYIT.
Thank you.
Barbara, tell me a little bit about your company and what it does.
Sure. Lloyd Staffing is a nationwide staffing firm. We're headquartered here on Long Island. We have many different niche specialties where we specialize in both direct hire as well as temporary placement. Some of the niche specialties are administrative, accounting and finance, human resources, sales and marketing, IT, and we work with candidates to try and help them find positions.
Deborah, if you could tell me about your company.
Sure. DRP Enterprises is a human capital consulting firm specializing in leadership development and training with a focus on professional development for employees.
Barbara, let's start by talking about some of the skills that young people need to be competitive in today's job market.
Well, naturally, depending on what type of position it is, there may be some technical skills involved, but I think more importantly, what all candidates need are communication skills, research skills, teamwork type skills, just people skills, I think matters a lot more these days.
Where can they get skills like that if they've never worked before?
Well, I think some of the schools are even starting to really incorporate some of that training. Some of the career services departments of schools are getting involved. Some of the guidance counselors are getting involved, and I think parents need to get involved as well.
Deborah, what kind of skills do you see employers looking for?
There's a high need for more the competencies like creativity, critical thinking, problem solving. These are what we consider workforce readiness skills that a high percentage of our students coming out of high school and college are lacking in. So this is a really big area that I think, as you indicated, business as well as educators are beginning to focus on, because creativity is the heart of, our global economy moving forward. So that's a really key area that educators really need to focus on.
Deborah, before going in for a job interview, what kind of research should people do?
Well, they should actually find out about the firm that they're interviewing with. There's nothing worse than an employer asking you, why are you here, and what do you know about our company, and you have no answer for. So with the advent of the internet, the information is there. All they need to do is Google the name of the company to find out where they're located, how many employees, maybe what the revenue is, and to get a better feel for the culture and the environment in which they're trying to apply.
Would you like to add to that?
I think, like Deborah said, definitely Googling the company. You will almost always find that most corporations do have a website. I think to take it a step further, depending on the type of position that you're applying for, if you're applying, to be in their marketing department or in their finance department, there's even a lot more insight in that website rather than just what the company does in general, but really hone in maybe even on some of the executives within that division.
Is there one skill that all employees must have?
Good question.
It is.
I think communication skills is really one of the most important things, because I have seen cases where maybe a technical skill wasn't quite what they wanted it to be, but they hired the person because of their ability to communicate with that person, and they felt that they were more likely to be able to train them.
And communication also meaning the ability to work with others who are of diverse backgrounds. It goes beyond age and race, but the ability to work with others unlike yourself is a big part of the communication piece. Even more important than, say, your technical skills, because as she said, you can teach that. But the communication is important, and the other is ethics. How honest are you? And integrity are the other key pieces that in high need now.
So this is something that a young person would need to learn at home.
Yes.
Well, you know what, I think even in school, I think it's not just verbal communication skills, but I think the written communication skill is extremely important. I see a lot of students that have just graduated that don't know how to put a letter together, they don't know proper letter format, they don't necessarily understand that the lingo that they use in texting, for example, should not be carried on to, you know, the email thank you letter that they're going to send. You know, there's a lot of things. Just being prepared for an interview, it takes it from before they get there and doing the research, being on the interview and make sure that you're making eye contact, make sure that you've turned your cell phone off, make sure that you don't have a water bottle on your table, make sure that your hair is not, you know, on the side of your head in a ponytail, you know, sunglasses on top of your head. I think they have to realize that there's a whole package, you know, that is being, you know, taking them from school and being in that classroom setting to being in the business world.
Now, you mentioned emailing a thank you letter. That's okay? They don't have to write a thank you letter. Email is fine?
I have seen that email is fine. I'm a little old-fashioned and I like the, you know, send it in the mail. But I think sometimes both is okay. You know, sending a quick thank you note. Sometimes you don't have time to send it by mail. Sometimes you want to make sure that you've made that impression immediately. But you have to remember that that email still needs to have the salutation. It still needs to look like a letter. And it still needs to be proofread 1,000 times for errors.
Yes, exactly.
Well, I'd like to thank you both for being here. When we return, we'll talk about some additional skills that can help you get your foot in the door.